What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. Good. We said in 6. They got the job done in 7. OKC, the best team all season. They win the chip, and this could be, one of many going forward, with the amount of picks and the strength they have in flexibility of roster, with everything they have in hand. It looks as though something special could be building. There's one SGA Finals MVP, regular season MVP, champion. Unfortunately, Halliburton done his Achilles in Game 7, which is tough. But what do we always say? Playoffs at times comes down to the survival of the fittest. And the team that can have their whole team out there, I'm sure LeBron James would have more rings if he was able to have a full team out there. It happens. It happens. The guys get injured.
If you didn't trade Alex Caruso.
Yeah, look, Alex Caruso wins his second chip. So, shout out to him. He was a massive role player in it.
He's catching LeBron.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he could. He should be going after the Horry. 5 or whatever it is, 6 or whatever he's got.
He had 5, Robert Horry.
Yeah, as a role player, but it was pretty prolific. The Game 7, they were down by a point at halftime, OKC, and then they put the pedal to the metal in the third quarter after the break and put it out of reach. Really, Indiana tried to make a run, but you could just tell that their heart wasn't there. They obviously missed a pivotal piece to their team in Halliburton, and just obviously all things going well in his recovery. We hope that he comes back and still is able to play at a high level. Achilles injury is probably one of the most gruesome and painful and lengthy to recover from. So it's smooth sailing for him. But props to the OKC, the big three that they've got there, and Chet was massive. Look, it'll be interesting this offseason. A few moves already, Doma. I'm not sure if you've seen.
Some big moves.
KD's gone to Houston.
Yep.
Jalen Green's been traded out. Dylan Brooks been traded out over to the Suns. You have Anthony Simons getting traded to Boston for Drew Holiday. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Can I just say something about the Kevin Durant trade?
Yep.
I don't know if you saw the reports today. There was apparently multiple fistfights in the locker room throughout this season at the Suns. That's how much they were hating each other. Now you're bringing Dylan Brooks into the locker room.
He's a good locker room guy.
He will beat your head in, Devin Booker. So if you're the person, geez, you don't want to mess with Dylan Brooks. He's a pit bull. So very funny. I love Sauce and Dollar. $10 Sauce if you whip it out. I think KD
left agate. Come on, mate. It's worth more than 10.
Destroy teams after he won his last chip at the Warriors. Jono says Hallie and Pace has got to stay humble. Hallie's dad is toxic. That's funny. SGA, ole, and hello Andy. And I've Ben, get rid of your Optus Sport subscription, boys. Stan Sport have the EPL rights.
Oh, there you go. Here first. Does that mean they're going to have Premier League and Champions League? They've obviously got both.
No, we're happy here.
They do a good job on the Champions League. So I'm not that upset.
We're gonna play them all, mate. We're gonna play them all. This is great news, mate.
Locked in. $300 million across 3 years. Stan Sports. Yeah. Look, I'm sure that.
Just breaks. Sorry, that one there. That was by accident. Sorry, apologies.
But I'm sure KD will be well known at a couple of nighttime establishments, just like James Harden was in Houston.
He's gonna get his banner.
Yeah, he's gonna get his jersey hung in the strip club, I reckon.
That's the real chip.
That's the real reason he went to Houston. Let's not beat around the bush. Look, it's going to be a big off season to see what teams do. It's already started, and look, we look forward to obviously NBA season, which it kicks off back around in another 3 months from now, 4 months from now, around November, isn't it, Doma? Usually kicks off
October.
Late October or halfway through October. So
we've got a bit of a reprieve, so
3-4 months break, and then it will all be back.
Hello, Splendor. What's happening? Yeah, it'll be off the show for a bit now. You know what usually happens during this time of the year, mate. The regular program starts getting shorter. So, yeah, that's just what happens. Geez, the wind is going a bit nuts here at my place.
Is that the wind, is it? I thought that was you rolling your chair on the ground.
No, that's the wind. Fucking blowing a gale outside. Jeez.
Yeah, it is windy.
We might have a hurricane. Anyway.
We'll never know. Might be another earthquake live on stream.
We've had every disaster known to man except for a tsunami at the moment. So on this podcast. So who bloody knows what's going to happen. Wind is wild. And so is wet and wild. What up, John? I've actually, hello, Vinny. Done something a bit new. I don't know if you've seen the comment source. They're rolling up on the bottom here.
Yeah, I did see that. That's
so we've
nifty.
got live comments. Yeah, they're in the beta testing here at the StreamYards, for their new things. So we've just got it coming up. So we've got the live chat. I feel like Speed. I show Speed. Talk to me, chat. What do you got for me, chat? Now everyone can see it. And it's from every platform source.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Which is
I like it.
Yeah. Hello, Carjo West. It says moving up. Hardly. Yeah, moving up the ranks in Siberia and Russia. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if anyone's going to get peace in the Middle East, you need to just rely on us. Number one podcast in Russia. Right here. So, what do y'all think of twerking at Fanatics Fest? I have no idea what you're talking about, Splendor.
But if you can send us a video, we'll bring it.
No, but it'd be like some of them on doing it. It'd be like Speed.
If it's men, no, we don't want to see it.
Tell Ronaldo to solve world peace. Nah, mate, he's just there to kick 1,000 goals. That's all he's there to do. Let's move on. We don't want to obviously talk about Ronaldo. When you bring it up, I have to talk about him. So I'm going to just move on quickly.
Jono, come on. You know better than that, mate. Dom will go off absolutely idolizing Ronaldo.
Rules my life, the guy. All right, let's get to the AFL source. And it was a great NBA series. I know ratings were down and people don't want to watch this. And, mate, you know how you fix the problem? You just sell the NBA rights to a streaming service and you'll fix all the problems on planet Earth. That's it. Cable's down everywhere. All the celebs and influencers pumping up that event looks corny to me. Number one pod in Russia, but banned pod by the EPL. I don't know. I actually wouldn't mind going to Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, look, from what I've seen across socials.
If it was on when I was in New York last year, I would have gone 100%.
Yeah, look, I definitely think it's something different. They're obviously bringing collecting and
I don't even know who this is, Magda.
I don't even know who it is, but I'm sure Julio does.
Yeah, 100%. He's playing COD at the moment. He won't be in the chat. I can assure you that much. So you're unbelievable.
Yeah, look, from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. It's hard. How am I supposed to comment when we're 5,000 kilometers over 5,000 kilometers away, Dom? It's pretty difficult.
Tell you what, the content's just goes gangbusters, mate.
It was interesting to see some of the shenanigans that went on with obviously Mr. Roth himself getting the big sale, $500,000 for Jaden McDaniels finite 1-of-1. Did the bloke overpay? Let us know in the chat if he did. I don't know. It's very hard to price these sorts of cards. I think it's overpriced personally, but maybe some people don't think it is. But props out to Roth for getting his face in there and making the sale. You got to do what you got to do when you're trying to make a buck in this hobby, I guess, as Roth is, which is interesting. But
bro, you know what? It's crazy. This guy's just popped out of nowhere. Like Roth, he's been like MIA for a while. Like, and he's just. But you know what it's like. All the shills just come up out of nowhere, mate.
So we don't have it. We don't have it. Damn it. There's a good obviously image of him going around that usually gets shared around of him doing a stupid face, Ralph.
Yeah,
so, but we don't have it saved.
That's what's his name's favorite. The Messiah loves that.
Messiah loves that photo. Yeah, that's the
500K for a sale in the middle of an audience seems like a good way to pump a market.
Yeah, it looks good. Good perspective, Splendor. Very good perspective. And I think I've seen someone share it on socials on Instagram and say, your Jaden McDaniels cards aren't worth more because of this sale. But it's funny because people will have that perception. They will be like, but it went for 500K. So then all these other Jaden McDaniels cards are all, go up with it. It's this perception that people like to have. But at the end of the day, you still got to find an end buyer that's willing to pay that amount of money that you're asking. If there's none there, that should tell you your answer. So
Roth, the king of the fake deal, says Brett. That's funny. All right, let's get to the footy. If you've got any footy questions or anything, just fire them through. Round 15 results. Dockers beat the Bombers by 41. Stock standard, we knew this was going to happen. You spoke about it on the show. You're in this phase of playing a lot of young players now, a lot of injuries. Dockers, they looked okay. They're nothing special in my opinion, but we'll wait and see what happens there. The big upset was the spoiling of Patrick Dangerfield's 350th all-white wet T-shirt contest or whatever the fuck they were doing down there in Geelong on Friday night. But the Lions came out and it was a bloodbath.
It was. They were all over him early. Geelong didn't look like they were recovering. Usual players not having games up to their usual standard. And, they couldn't get up for Paddy Dangerfield 350th, which is disappointing if you're a Cats fan. And good win by Brisbane. And I think I spoke to you about it, Dom. I said, if you go have a look at Brisbane's run home, it's quite difficult. I'd love to actually get it up.
As you're getting that up, Splendor said Fanatics Fest just seems like a puppet master circus, a way to get people excited to give their money to Ruben. That's funny. While you're getting that up, I'll push on to the Saturday afternoon game. What a game it was. What a game, mate. What a game. And I haven't even sat down and watched it yet. That's how busy I've been. But I was getting the score updates and, $4.40 were the odds for North to win this game. $4.40. Anyway, we win by 11 points. And I just want to talk about a few nice things that came up out of this North Melbourne win, all right? I'm going to mention these to you, Source, and you tell me how they've tried to protect the Blues out of a couple of these things, all right? North Melbourne's last quarter was so poor, they should have been able to put a team to the sword. It wasn't good enough. These are things that people have said, right? Carlton's fight back at the end relieves a blow for Michael Voss on Monday morning at the football club at the Blues. Their run and carry that they had in the last quarter showed signs that they should have implemented earlier to win the game against North Melbourne. The other one was Charlie Curnow doesn't look like he's the guy to lead the Carlton forward line. That was probably a criticism, and there was actually criticism of the Blues this morning, talking about their in-house is talking about outhouse, if that makes sense. So there is a bit of rumblings at the club. All I'm saying, I know we didn't kick. I think we kicked one behind in the last quarter, and Carlton kicked 5-5. And I'm not going to say we took the foot off the gas. We just played this conservative brand of football, which I'm not happy about. But we won by 11 points. At one stage, at three-quarter time, we were 129-point turnarounds from Good Friday. 120. Yes, you heard that correctly. 149. We lost by 82, by 83 on Good Friday. 129-point turnarounds. Now, if you don't walk into the club on Monday morning, which was yesterday, and sack Michael Voss, or you come out and you drop half your team this week, Carlton, I don't know what I can say for you. 10 weeks ago, you beat us by 83 points. And 10 weeks later, you lost by 11. And at one stage, you were down by 46 points.
8 unanswered goals you kicked, Doma.
Well,
through the middle
according to people that were not North Melbourne supporters, because these are the people I like to poll these days, because if you ask North Melbourne supporters, they're all biased. Talking to people that weren't North supporters, they said that North Melbourne made Carlton look like a bunch of under 10 footballers. And it was the best they have seen North Melbourne play in 5 years, mate.
Your pressure was up. Your midfield was dominating. LDU was having a very good game. Look, it's disappointing that you stopped at the end there and tried to conserve and save the game. But you got the win in the end. And Carlton, you haven't beaten them for 3-4 seasons. They slapped you earlier on the season, so obviously the vengeance is served for the Roo boys. And it was a good win. It was a good win in the end, Doma. Now the test is, can you roll it and back it up into Hawthorn this week?
I'm not, mate. The lid's not off on North Melbourne, I can assure you that much. But I just do want to say to supporters out there from other clubs that keep giving shit to North Melbourne, and I was off of us a few weeks ago. I wasn't happy about the way we were playing, but we turned it around against Fremantle last week. I gave ourselves props there. I know we didn't win the game. Pretty unlucky not to. We got the win this week, but we are 6 points behind the Blues.
Imagine you finish above the Blues this season. Oh, it's possible. It's possible.
If that happens, we're having a party on this podcast.
It's possible.
I don't know. I'd have to do something. I might have to do an IRL and go visit my mum, who's a Blue supporter, and just, I don't know, get one of those chalk bombs, a blue and white one, and I'll just blow them up in my parents' house, mate.
All right, Tom, as I mentioned before, well done to the Kangas, the Lions. Now, they won on the weekend. They beat the Cats. Now, look at this run home, right? If you have a look, they've got a bye. Then they've got Port Adelaide at home, which they can win. They've got Brisbane, Carlton away, which they can win. They've got Doggies at home, which they can win. Gold Coast away, okay, that could potentially be a loss. They got Collingwood away at MCG. That's, in my opinion, a 50-50 game. beat them in the grand final. Got beaten in the grand final. Won the grand final last year, I should say, but got beaten there. Have turned around their form at the G. It will be a 50-50 game. Then you got Brisbane against Sydney at home. You think Brisbane wins that? Fremantle against Brisbane away. Fremantle would probably start favourites, but they could probably get the chocolates there. And then Brisbane against Hawthorn at home. Now, that's a tough run, Domo, when you think about it. And if they can get through...
go.
The Sydney game's probably arguably the easiest game. But you never know. By round 22,
by the time we get there, all their guys are back now. They're going to be pretty decent.
Exactly. So, right? It's going to be a tough game. So all those games are tough. Yeah. You probably their next two games against Port Adelaide at home and Carlton away, probably the easiest of their whole run home. If you ask me, if they are able to navigate that run home, and what is there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left, and they're able to go 5 of 8 or something like that.
Even if they go 6 of 8. Win 4 of 8.
4 of 8, and they can navigate that and play some good football. They could go back to back, Dom. They could go back to back. Ideally, they'd want to finish top 4 in that, but they could potentially go back to back. That is a tough run home. But as I said, if they navigate it well and play some good football and hit the form at the right time of the season, going into finals, that's where you want to be. So it's a big challenge for the Lions, but if they're able to overcome this, this end to the season in good fashion, boy, watch out 100%. For the Lions. Could be back to back. Could be.
Well, speaking about one of the teams that play there in the next game here, was Sydney against Port, and they had Goulden and Papley back, and they were sight for sore eyes for Sydney supporters. So it was good to get him back, obviously, and Goulden's a great player. So is Tom Papley. His energy, obviously, is what they were missing up forward and in the team. He's that spiritual leader, mate, out on the field. So they get the job done by 19 into Adelaide. So big win there against Port, they've beat up on a few teams, but they've been winning a few games recently. So and then the Pies go to Marvel, beat St Kilda by 34. We don't even need to get into the Saints. They're rubbish. The Pies, that was just another notch in the belt for them. The most interesting game we thought was going to be this Giants-Suns game, and it turned out to be a banger, 7-point win by the Giants. We thought it was going to be inconsistent, but you know what? They strung together some form. They've won 2 in a row, which is a surprise. But yeah, good win for them. And then the last game, the Dogs spanked the Tigers by 79 points in what was a no contest, to be honest. Our tips for this week, Saucy, we have Port versus Carlton in Adelaide on Thursday.
Adelaide.
Wow. Imagine they lose again. Oh, this is just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm going Port as well. Swans versus Dogs at the SCG.
This is a tough one. I think I'm going to have to go the Swans. If they've got a few players back, why can't they beat the Dogs, especially up there?
I'm going to also go Sydney. Suns versus Melbourne in Gold Coast.
Suns.
I'm also going Suns. Hawthorn versus North Melbourne at
Hawks.
The University of Tasmania.
Tassie Hawks against the Tassie Kangas.
I will do something that has been unheard of on this podcast for 5 years. I will tip North Melbourne 2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks in a row. He's tipping North Melbourne. Yeah. I can't believe this. Oh, you have more hope than me, Doma. But yeah, I think North Melbourne won't be up to it back-to-back weeks, but hopefully they prove me wrong.
We got the Pies versus West Coast at Marvel.
Pies.
Yeah,
could be ugly. Could be ugly.
Me on this show. I never not tip the Pies. Richmond versus Adelaide at the G.
Adelaide.
I'm also going Adelaide. And then the last game, Dockers versus Saints at Optus.
Dockers.
Perfect. The buys are Lions, Cats, Bombers, Giants. The ladder as it stands at the moment. Let me get a bit of a zoom in here and I'll share it. And I'm going to the predictor, mate. We've got to get the predictor going again.
Got to get the predictor going. It's good fun.
Here we go. Predictor, here it is. You've predicted, mate. We want the autofill. Yeah, come on, mate. Thanks, mate. There it is. That's how it's looking at the moment.
Yep.
Fuck, they're giving Brisbane a bit of a good run. Giants 5 in a row. Well, who's predicting the ladder? I hope it's AI. It's not AI, sorry, because it's the Giants to win 5 in a row at the moment.
I doubt that.
Wow. Fuck. Funnily enough, they've got the Dogs and the Blues missing the finals.
We'll have to see if it's on point.
What the fuck's going on here, North? We only win one more game. What?
It's got Essendon. We don't even win another game, mate.
What in the world? Richmond not to win another game. West Coast not to win another game. Essendon not to win another game. Port Adelaide to win one more game. Saints to win 3 more games, mate. They're out of their mind. There you go. That's the predictor. But if we just turn that off, mate, let's just go to the real deal. That's how it sits.
Good to have a play around as it gets closer to finals.
There's the Doggies. They're sitting in at the moment. The Blues are 2 games out. And everyone else is there, down there, playing for nothing, to be honest. Perfect. All right, Sauce. Just a quick one. F1, there is a race this week, the Austrian Grand Prix, Sunday, 29th of June, 11 p.m. at the Red Bull Ring. It is the Max Verstappen home race. Also, F1 news, the F1 movie comes out on Thursday with Brad Pitt. So if anyone's interested, you can go out and watch that one.
I've seen the adverts for it.
And funnily enough, every driver that's currently on the grid was at the world premiere of the movie, except for one guy, Source, and it was Max Verstappen. He was doing testing, mate. No, he was doing testing. He was driving. While everyone was enjoying the movie premiere, he was just getting better and better and better. Just that's what goats do. So F1 this week, it is the Red Bull home race. So expect Max Verstappen to be flying at the Red Bull Ring.
He'll be on point.
Oh, he'll be on point, all right. They're flying at the moment.
11 p.m. Sunday night is the race. Is that right?
That's right.
Yep. Qualifying Saturday.
What's going on here?
Evening. Make sure you tune in. It's getting juicy. The second half of the season is going to be massive, Doma.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. What do we got next? FIFA Club World Cup Source. We just threw some of the tables at the moment.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Hang on.
Unbelievable scenes in some of the...
Yeah, it has been, Doma. I've been following it. I'll bring up the tables. So in Group A, this is finished. All games played. You had Palmeiras finishing on top and Inter Miami finishing second. Can't say I picked Inter Miami qualifying in that group, but well done to them. Then in Group B, you had PSG finishing on top with Botafogo finishing in second. Atletico Madrid misses out, even though they finished on 6 points because they got a -1 goal difference. The 4-0 drumming they copped at the hands of PSG in Game 1 was the difference there, Doma. If they, maybe lost 2-0, they end up qualifying in this one. So, that's really come back to bite them. And in Group C, you got Bayern Munich. They have qualified, and then they are versing Benfica tomorrow. Benfica just needs to get a draw to secure qualification. And Bayern Munich is already through, but I'm guessing they're going to want to win. So they finish on top. Then Group D, you got Flamengo and Chelsea. Flamengo was able to knock off Chelsea the other day. Big underdogs they were. Chelsea fumbled it. The best they can do now is probably only qualify. They verse Esperance tomorrow. We'll see if they get the win. They will qualify. In second, you got River Plate again and Inter Milan, who's on top in Group E. They have games still to play. Monterrey can also still qualify should results go their way. Then you got Fluminense and Borussia Dortmund on top of Group F. I can't see any of the other teams doing anything. Melody, Sundowns, they got a win in their last game. But I think Borussia Dortmund and Fluminense will be too strong in that group. And then Group G, you got Juventus, Man City. Don't have to go any further than that. It's going to be 1-2 or 2, or 1-2 either way. They verse each other in the next game, so that will probably determine who finishes on top. And then Group H, you have Real Madrid, Salzburg, Al Hilal. Salzburg got the win in their first game. Then they got a draw. Al Hilal can only manage 2 draws. Real Madrid managed a draw and a win. They now come up against Salzburg in the next one and need a win to secure the top spot. Just in case Al Hilal ends up beating Pacha, they could qualify also on 5 points. So a win for Real Madrid will lock it in. But
regardless their source, those Salzburg's in a bit of trouble. They need to win. Because I think Al Hilal will come out and decimate Pachuca.
Yeah, they should. But Al Hilal, Mitrovic has been injured, so few outs. And if you haven't seen some results, you can go check them out. Shock result would be the other day, PSG got beaten by Botafogo 1-0. You also had Flamengo defeating Chelsea 3-1. There you go. There's Paris Saint-Germain defeated by Botafogo.
Messi's goal was very nice, Magda.
Free kick.
It was very nice. Yeah. Hey, see, I give credit here on this show where credit's due. Don't you worry about that.
That's the Club World Cup, and the next matches kick off tomorrow. And then the group stages finishes this Friday, and then it will be into the knockout stages. Round of 16.
Beautiful. All right, so also I'm going to throw it to you again for some UFC.
Yes, Doma, don't worry. He's ready. I've got it up and ready to go. UFC Fight Night, Jamal Hill versus Roundtree Jr. If you didn't see it, well, I'm going to let you know. I'm spoiling it. Khalil Roundtree Jr. gets the win over the 5 rounds against Jamal Hill with a unanimous decision. Rafael Vaziev defeats Ignacio Bahamondes with a 3rd round unanimous decision. Curtis Blades defeats Rizvan Runviv Kunyev with a decision over the 3 rounds. Then you got Orol Olodbali defeats Tofik Musayev with a submission in the 1st round. Nazim Sadikov defeats Nicholas Mota with a KO in the 2nd round. And then Muhammad Naimov defeats Bogdan Grade with a decision over the 3 rounds. You can check out the prelims cards on their website, ufc.com/events. Doma, we do have an event this weekend. That is UFC 317, Ilia Topuria against Charles Oliveira this weekend. Main card kicks off from 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. There you go. There's the overlay, the picture. And then you got Ilia Topuria against Oliveira. Alexandria Pantoja against Kai Kara France. Benil Dariush against Renato Mosiano. Brandon Royval against Joshua Van. And Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. Gee, that's a quick backup for Joshua Van. And I'll tell you what, if he's able to win from 11th rank to defeating the number 1 rank, that would be a big jump for Joshua Van. Watch out for this guy, Doma, Joshua Van. He's good. All right, I'm pretty sure he may also be undefeated. So he could be, because he just fought recently, Joshua Van. Like he just fought in the last 3 weeks. So he's backing up because he knocked out his opponent and hardly took any damage. And he looks like he's backing up and taking out on Brandon Royval, which is the biggest challenge of his career. And he is a good fighter. So this looks like to be an absolute pillar this weekend. Prelim card kicks off from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 12 p.m. the main card, UFC 317, Topuria against Oliveira. I think it should be a good matchup.
That's for the belt, isn't it?
No,
it is.
Lightweight
yes, it
title
is.
belt. It is. It is for the title
because it was vacated.
Yeah. Oh, look. To give my selection, I think Pantoja beats Kai Kara France. And then I also think Mosiano defeats Dariush, and then Ilia Topuria probably defeats Oliveira. It will be interesting to see, if Topuria is able to land his big blows on Oliveira. I think it will rock him. You see all the time he gets rocked, goes back on his back, and just buys himself some time. But we'll see what happens this weekend on at 12 p.m. and find it on your local stations.
Beautiful. I'm going to move on through Source to some hobby talk. I know there's some people that have stuck around. They're here for hobby talk and want to know what we're going to talk about. And we've already talked about Fanatics Fest, so we don't need to get into that. But actually, there was one thing at Fanatics Fest. You may have spotted a lemon.
I have spotted a lemon, Doma, and I'll just show you why. I'll bring it up and play it through. Here it is, Doma. Here we go. I'm not going to play that for anyone that's obviously can't see it. It's Logan Paul on the screen, and I don't know why it's not working. It doesn't want to seem to work for me. Oh, great, terrific. Hang on, let's try close a couple of tabs. See if that helps my cause.
You've had a shocker.
Hang on. We're gonna go again. What am I supposed to do, man? I didn't know it was not gonna play.
This is great.
Here we go, and it hasn't played. That's just defeated the purpose of the whole part of this segment. So essentially, and I'll just describe it. This lemon decides it will be a wise idea to crack out a graded Pokemon pack from 1990 base set, not first edition or anything, just base set 1999 Venusaur pack. Decides to crack it out of a PSA slab, and for clout gets Logan Paul to open it as he's walking past. He opens it. He pulls nothing but base cards. Doma gets back absolutely peanuts, and these packs go for about 400 to 500 USD. So essentially, just for his 2 seconds of fame, you have wasted 500 USD, and for that, no reason to get Logan Paul involved at all. I mean, it cost you $500. Was it worth it? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. And for that, you, sir, are a lemon. Big lemon. Should have just kept it sealed, mate, because he opened it, he got base cards, Doma, and it's now worth less than what it was sealed.
The only thing that could have made this story better was he cracks the pack, gives it to Logan Paul, rips it, and
cards.
No, it just had random cards in there. It had been resealed. That would have been the best, because we would have said on this show and been like, my God, we called this 2 years ago. Imagine.
Sure, there must be some out there that are in case that, there's people. I had a look on eBay when I was having a look for prices of, what these packs sold for. And there's people literally selling the empty packet of the pack for $10.
If you're buying that, you're a lemon.
People are nuts. Nuts.
I also heard that Grifty Wilson is opening a second shop.
Okay. People thought his first shop wasn't going to do well, but Cards HQ seems to be doing pretty well. He's going to open a second, and
that's what I've heard. Yeah. We've been told.
good luck to him. Good luck to Mr. Hello himself.
No,
and
Matt, I don't wish for the failure of someone's business. You know what I mean? I wish him all the best, mate. If he can keep pushing the hobby, do I like his content? No. Is he getting eyes on the hobby? Yeah. For the right reasons? Sometimes. But tell you what, I'd rather have this guy in the space than the backyard break crew.
True, very true.
And the director of assets. I'd rather have this guy in than a whole bunch of other guys. So
the list could go on, Doma. The list could go on.
Except Juanito. I'd take him ahead. If we had you know what we should do? So it'd be so funny. We should do a draft. Drafting the hobby influencers from the grifters that are no longer in the hobby. We should actually do a draft to pick our hobby team. What do you reckon? I like it. Let us know if you like it. We go through and we just get everyone and we just do a draft. We have a bit of a write-up on them. Come to Double Coverage United. This is the team. Oh, I'm telling you, if
you're forced to pick lemons,
top 5. You got to think about some of these top 5 picks. Like, who do you take? The great Lamont. Do you take him in your top 5 picks? AIH. Do you take Rahul? I'm not saying they're all lemons, but
yeah, I like it. Anti Influencer FC.
Dan the Card Man. Where does he get picked? What position does he play? The instigator. Is he the instigator?
He plays defensive midfield, mate, because he's just in the middle there. He's just deflecting and defending the good parts of the hobby and calling out the shit.
Shilway, where does he get picked? Or do I pick him, or is it a fake pick, like his fake listings? I don't know. Like, what do we do with Shilway?
He's playing the corrupt goalkeeper, mate. He's letting through goals on purpose.
I'm telling you. Director of assets. Like, where's he go? A top 5 pick card porn has to be in your top 5 picks, though, if you have to do it seriously. Goldberg, where are we putting him? Get him back in the mix. Sack cards. Roth cards. Who else is there? There's a whole bunch of them, mate. You got Pool Wax in there. You got Lil Pool Man. And you know me with Lil Pool Man. It doesn't matter whatever he's ever done, mate. I probably would take him with my number 1 pick. So, but who was the other one that did the Ken Golden? He'd be in there.
Kenny.
Steve Aoki. Island Boys and Ken. Who else do you pick? Oh, there's heaps. We could. Oh, I'm telling you, we have to make a list.
It'd be a good one.
Mark's cards.
He'd be at top of the list.
Big Boy. Gotta get Big Boy in there. We got to try and get Big Boy back on the show. I think he's got his shop now.
He's running a card shop now. Big Boy.
Yeah, Gary V.
Gary V. To have him back on.
Yes. Gary V. Lou. Is he still in the hobby? I don't know. Card Collector 2. Yeah, there's a big list. I'm telling you, like Matt's card shop. Yeah, we're gonna have Aussies in there too. Grayson, card porn cherry poss. Like he'd be. The card messiah. Jay. Actually, I'd have to pick Jay with my number 1 pick. You'd have to pick Jay.
Remember, there was a time they thought he was Mr. Juanito himself. He was card porn.
Joe Fu, Card Fever crew. Oh no, we'd have to. It'd be massive. I think we'd have to separate it to like great people. Well, we have to have it as the influencer FC, versus the Grift FC. Because honestly, I can't be picking like Shilway over the Card Fever guys.
No,
like, it makes no sense,
true.
because one's legitimate and one's a shill. So, like,
yes, very true.
oh no, I was waiting to get to him, mate. Here he is, number one pick Sauce.
Number one pick has to be.
And if you draft, if you draft Kurt, you get PSA thrown in for free. So, this is great. I think we have to do it. We might have to do it. What are your thoughts? Chat.
I like the idea. I think
it has to be done.
We'll have to.
And you know what? These people can make videos if they're not happy with it. If they do see it down the track. If they do, and just you need to be the Grift curator. Just remember, anyone making any videos that are not happy with us, you know who has to be in there. You know who has to be in there, Sauce. Your mate. They called you out. For the Tyson Beck thing.
P. Ryan.
Your mate. He's got to be in there.
There we go. Him and Fitterman together.
Anyway, just
Fitterman,
remember,
I do not keep cards on the side. Sports.
OTS Sports Cup. My God, there's so many. Blaze.
Mr. OTS Spooner Corner.
I'll tell you what, just remember P. Ryan Malacca. I'm telling you, that's why they have to have their own draft. Because
they can't go.
You can't put guys like Tyson Beck with these people.
No.
And like they're going to be upset if they see it and be like, they're calling us these people. Just remember, we are certified and back with the full might of the Russian government, mate, on this podcast. So don't even fucking think for 1 second you're going to shut us down. All right? You got no chance. All right? You got absolutely no chance. The irony therapist has me and Dan, the card man, on to give our perspective on shady stuff in the hobby.
Yeah, and then he was doing the shady stuff himself, Splendor.
What's his name? Ludicrous. Not Johnny Sins, your mate. What's his name? That sold the.
Hang on. I'll tell you. Hang on, we got him. We don't worry about it. Here he is. I forgot his name, Johnny something. It's escaped me. But he would definitely be. He'd go in the list for sure.
He's in the good side of the draw.
He's in the good side, the smart side.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, mate. I think we have to do it. We will get it done. When NBA is going to be finished, when the AFL finishes, they're really soccer's back. Yeah, Club World Cup's going to end, and eventually we'll have AFL, F1, UFC, hobby talk. So I reckon we'll be able to do a special one. I think the best way to do it is, Sauce, we actually might have to do the round table. So we have 4 different general managers selecting their picks. We get a list.
We're going to make the list first.
Yeah, I'll get a full list, and you select, and we cross them off the list as we go through it. Because with
how many's on each team?
Well, with the 2 of us, we're not going to have a roster of freaking. We could have 50 people each. You got to remember, there's a lot of shills. You'd have at least 100 of them.
There is.
But if we do it that way, we have to have everyone, I think.
I like it.
We'd have it tiered. You get to pick the grifter and an influencer, I think. I think that's the best way to do it. So then we can actually go ahead and pick out some of the great people in the hobby, like Cage, Card Fever guys, Joe Fu. We can pick these people.
Shaq Fu.
We can actually pick these people. Tyson Beck. and actually have a legitimate team. We can pick our own Influencer FC and our own Grift FC and see who's got the best when they match up against each other. Eddie Shields drafts. I want to pick Jay at pick 1. Mate, I'm picking Jay in front of Jay. And when he says, where you put him in, I'm going to say Grift FC. That's where you were going. Straight to his face. And you're going to be with your mate there from the, what's the House of Jordans, Chris Hoge. It's going to be Chris Hoge and Jay the Card Messiah as my backcourt. Oh, jeez. No, that's great. Yeah, I like this idea.
There would be no disagreements in that backcourt, that's for sure.
Nah, none at all. Not at all. So, anyway, we'll definitely get that done. There's actually no releases to go through unless you want to go through Lorcana, but we're not going to go through that. Which, anyway, it is better than Metapoo. So, if we were to go through,
yes,
something.
I think we mentioned that when Lorcana came out and was becoming a bit popular. We did say we'd definitely buy Lorcana over Metapoo if we're to have a choice.
The cards are actually not bad because I bought some at the Hobby Hangout. Obviously I bought them for my wife. She loves Disney, and I was like, oh, maybe this is the entry market for her if she wants to start collecting. And I had a good look at the cards, and I was like, man, they're not bad at all, to be honest. So we'll see where we go. If we buy, I might even buy a box. We'll see what happens. Top's finest UEFA soccer, says Magda.
Oh, let's have a look. Chuck it in, Doma. We'll have a look at this, and then
you might have to bring it up because it's not opening. It's not letting me type in my tab. I don't know why it does this. Oh yeah, Collect Fest. Yes, before we forget, it's actually on the list of things to talk about. Collect Fest, 2 weeks away. I'll bring it up while you're getting. Now, I'm undecided if I'm going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're going to be very disappointed in me. For those that are going, I have a 30th on the Saturday. So if I do rock up, I don't know how well my condition's going to be. How much is a family ticket? I don't want a single day pass. $100. That's not bad. Oh, not really. My kid gets in for nothing, so why the fuck would I buy that? When I can buy 2 for $80. What's the weekend pass? How many people is it? Family, 2 adults and 2 children. What a shill. I'm over for the week, boys. North game Thursday, into Collingwood v Blues Friday, and Saints v Hawks Saturday. I am going to the North v Dogs game next week. That is the North Melbourne Centenary game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to know, 100 years of North. I would like to win, but I'm not going to say it's going to happen. Saw a few discount codes for Collect Fest tickets too. Interesting. They're struggling to sell it out, maybe. Well, they sold out something. I just saw in the tickets over here. VIP sold out.
There we go. Let us know in the chat if you're thinking of going and which day. As Doma said, if yours going to go, it'll be the Sunday. And if I was going to go, it will probably be the Sunday anyway. Jono says tickets too expensive, $40. You got to take into account, Jono, where it's being held as well, though.
It cost as much as Hobby Hangout, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hobby Hangout was around that similar price. Being held at the exhibition center wouldn't be cheap to hire out. I do know, booths to set up there and whatnot were quite expensive, much more expensive than the Hobby Hangout. It is their first crack at a show. I do know they are going for all type of collectibles, ranging from clothing, sneakers, cards, games, everything and in between.
Coins, stamps.
Yeah, I think the lot, right? So, if you go into something like this, don't expect it to be fully cards. Expect it to be a bit of a mixed bag. But, as I mentioned, I did a bit of research into the team that's organising this, and they've been around for many years organising all types of events. So let's hope they can pull it off, and they're traveling around the country. It's good to see that, they've got one in Brisbane, one in Sydney, lined up. So, it's good for the collectors in those regions that they've got something to attend to. But yeah, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2 weeks from today. Doma, what's the official date?
5th and 6th of July.
There you go. So 5th and 6th of July, you can buy a single day ticket. You can buy a double pass for the both days. But check it out if you're able to. And
eBay there. Golden's back.
Yeah, Golden. Official partners, eBay, Tops.
There you go. Comics, toys, figurines, coins, bank stamps, trading cards, gaming, sneakers and apparel, sports and memorabilia. There's heaps. And beyond. So
Whatnot.
Beyond.
Whatnot's there.
Are they?
They were on the promo there.
Aussie Collectibles. There's our boy Tyson Beck. Who else we got? Is it going to keep rolling or?
It's going to keep going.
Interactive. What's this? Eureka coins, banknotes, and collectibles. Dream courts. I think it'll be a good event. But yeah, neon. Unbox collectibles. Yeah. Anyway, there's heaps. Just go to the website. I'll chuck it in the chat.
Catch you, Splendor. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, Doma, it looks like it's going to be a belter. We'll definitely, try to attend if we can, and if we are going to attend, we'll obviously put something out on our socials to let you guys know which day we'll be going, who will be going. We're sort of yet to decide. Maybe we'll decide next week. We'll go from there. But it's Collect Fest 5th and 6th July in Melbourne. And look, hopefully it's a successful event. All right, last thing on the agenda, Doma. It's this. I couldn't find the proper checklist or whatever, but here it is. How to collect Topps Finest 24-25. Just a quick look. There it is. 150 cards featuring established stars, promising rookies, and fan favorite veterans. The card design is bold and vibrant, enhanced by Topps signature chrome finish. There's a bit of a look at some of the cards there. Oh, look at that. You got the Kaká, Marks of Excellence, autos, first-class rookies. There you go. Ethan Wanyeri. Might have to try to get my hands on Ethan Wanyeri. He's going to be a star, Doma. He gets more game time this season. Obviously, Leo Messi's in there. You're obviously looking for Lamine Yamal. So, Doma, Topps Finest. I couldn't find the exact checklist, but I just found this little write-up. So, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. As we always say, make sure you do your research on a new product. Check the checklist. See if it's worth buying a box. See if it's worth going in breaks. And if it's not, buy the singles because you'll build a better collection that way.
I forgot that they have King Pokemon, Gary Haas, who was recently on stream bending cards to make sure it didn't affect the pop report.
Absolute scumbag act.
So we might have to when's he on stage? 3:30 p.m.
I'll tell you right now. Look, I think it's about $1,000 to get a pack opened by him, or $2,000. That's something ridiculous. I don't know if you'd want him touching your packs if you haven't seen that most recent video where we're opening on stream and he's like pulling the cards out of a little gap in the box, purposely damaging them on the way out to keep pop reports low. Obviously, he has a big invested interest in all of these cards.
Tyson.
He's a grifter, if you ask me, Doma.
Yeah.
So
Tyson's talking 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Grift FC.
2 p.m. on Saturdays, Tyson. I don't think he's talking on Sunday. By the looks of things, he isn't. Lane's going to be talking on the Sunday at 2 p.m., which is great. And Tolga, who we met at the South Australian show, Source, is actually going to be talking at 11 a.m. on the Sunday. So pretty good. A few people we know there talking, which is great. So yeah, all the best to all of them. And yeah, hopefully we can be there. On that note, gamble responsibly. Love the live rolling chat feature on the pods. Great addition. Roaming source. Source will try and get a roaming source going if we are there.
If we're there, if Dom is there and can be my cameraman, then 100%.
If not, Magda, and you're there, you can be the cameraman.
You can be the cameraman, Magda. I'll just get you to just follow me around. But this time it won't be live. We're not going to do it live. We'll just do a record and then I'll post it just so we don't have any hiccups or anything of that nature. But yeah, definitely something that would love to get out for people and go around and collect fest and ask people a few questions and see how they're going. But yeah, look forward to it, Doma, and another week, another show down.
Perfect. On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man. Source's double coverage. Thank you once again, and peace out.
Peace out, ladies and gents. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.